So, just like that extra credit problem on your test, if I have 2 points, there's a way to find the equation of a line. That's what we're going to work on. A lot of you ask, how do you do that problem? Well, that's what we're going to work on today. It says writing linear equations given 2 points. So some of you said they have an idea already. What do you think you would do to find? Yes, sir.
Like for the extra credit one, it was like negative 6 and 4. So would you like add 6 to both sides and make it like 0?
No, on the extra credit I gave you 2 points. Blake?
Well, if you just have to find the slope and the y-intercept and then plug it in as n and b.
Very good. I like how you said that. In order to find, or in order to write an equation of the line, one of the easiest way, is to find the slope and the y-intercept. Now, let me give you the 2 points. How about if I give you 2 points like example 1? How about this point? 3, comma negative 2, and 6, comma 0. So let's say I gave you these 2 points. Blake said all you need to find is the slope and the y-intercept, correct? So how do you find the slope, first of all? Do we know how to find the slope when you have 2 points? Owen?
y2 minus y1
Thank you.
over x2.
So I'm going to write, we need the slope and we need the y-intercept, right? That's all we need to find. And we know how to find the slope because you just use the y sub 2, slope m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And remember I told you could actually do the y sub 1 over y sub 2 over x sub 1 over x sub 2. But let's just stick with this one, okay? So I'm going to put parentheses here, minus parentheses over something minus something. And we taught you a little trick. Instead of calling the 3 x sub 1, what should we call the 3? When we label these? You guys remember the little trick that I showed you? Don't worry about it. Okay, well, then if you don't remember, that's fine. We'll write x sub 1. What's this? Then y sub 1 is from the first point. This is then x sub 2, y sub 2. So who thinks, so do you think it's a good idea to use parentheses when you plug in?
Yeah.
Which a lot of you guys found out today when you got your test back. Some of you didn't use the parentheses for this slope and forgot that, negative and so forth, right? What goes in here? Raise your hand. How about Brigetta?
0.
0 is correct. That's why we labeled these, didn't we? And what about right here, Robert? Negative 2. Do you see why the parentheses is important? Because sometimes people see the negative, and guess what they write? Instead of writing negative 2, they write 2. That would be wrong. Okay, what about here, class? Class, what do I write? What's x sub 2? 6 minus x sub 1? 3. Now, do we know how to do 0 minus negative 2? What does that really mean? Let's make it into addition. 0 plus 2 over, what about this? 6 plus negative 3, which is 2 over 3. So, what have we found already? So, we found the slope. That checked. Okay, now, all we need to find is then y-intercept. Now, how do you find the y-intercept? You guys remember from last time when we were learning the other section where we were able to figure out the x-intercept and the y-intercept by doing what? How do you find the y-intercept? Don't we need to find b? B is the y-intercept, right? Do you guys remember how we found y-intercept? Yes. You take the equation and plug in this. So, yes, right now, okay, so that's a very good point. Last time, we said the y-intercept was what? 0, comma, b. Do you guys remember this? And we had to solve for b. Right now, though, we have a problem. What's our problem? We don't have? Well, yeah, we don't have b before either. I mean, in the same way. But last time, when we had 0b, what did we do with this, Robert?
We
Yeah, so didn't we plug it in to an equation? Do you see any equation right now? No, we don't have any equation. So what do we do? Well, let's just write down how much we know. Okay. So remember slope intercept form was y is equal to what? mx plus b, right? Okay. So let's plug in what we know. Y equals to, what's our m? 2/3. What's x plus b? So we don't know what this is. Uh-oh. So we can't even plug in anything because we don't have an equation, right? We have incomplete equation. We don't know what b is. So how do we find b? Anybody have an idea? We need to find what b is. Do we need to? We cannot graph, because whenever we graph a line, we need to know what a b is. Okay, we don't know b, so we don't know where to start, right? But what we know is we know 2 points of this what? This line, right? So if you know 2 points of this line and this, if you want to find what b is, does anybody know what we could do? By the way, what do these points mean about this line? These points are the, we talked about this before. Whenever you have a line, what's the line made up of? Order pairs. And what are all these order pairs? They are the,
Coordinates.
okay,
Points.
yes, but solutions. Who said it? Who said it? Thank you. Order pairs, right? You know, the line is made up of the solution of that equation, isn't that right? Because solutions are order pairs that makes that equation true. And when you plot them, it turns out for these linear equations, these order pairs line up as a line, isn't that right? So, in other words, 3, -2, or 6, 0 is a solution to this equation that we're trying to figure out. So, all we have to do is, in order to find b, all you have to do is plug in, write this down, plug, at this point, plug in a point to find b. Now it says plug in a point, but when I say plug in a point, it means one of the solution, right, of this line. So 3, -2 makes this line true. 6, 0 also makes this line, this equation true, correct? Do you know what I'm talking about? So which one is easier to plug in if you have a choice to plug in 3, -2, 6, 0? Which one would you like to plug in? You see where my x and y is? We're going to plug into there, right? And once you plug in, you can figure out what b is. Robert, which one would you like to? Would you like to plug in 6, 0? Do you like 6, 0 better, guys? Does it matter which one you plug in? Well, as a matter of fact, we're going to do both ways. See if we get the same b. Okay. So let's plug in 6, 0 first, because it's the easier one. So you're right. So what are the 2 points again? 6, 0. Let's go back up. What was the other one? 3, -2. So let's see whether we get the same answer. So look, we had y equals to 2/3 x plus b. All I want to do is find b. Well, if 6, 0 makes this equation true, why not then plug in 6, 0 to this equation and figure out which b makes this equation left side equals to right side? Right? So what am I going to plug in for y? 6 or 0, guys? Why is it 0? Doesn't it look like, yeah, because do you think it's a good idea to label these? This is your x, this is your y. So 2/3. So we're still looking for b, so I plug in 6 right here. And what are we plugging for x? 0. And because this 6, 0 is a solution to this equation, which b makes the left side equals to the right side? Well, all you have to do is solve for b. When you solve for b, what do you get, guys? You get 6 equals to 0 plus b. What's your b?
Wait, was it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally messed up. You're right. Don't do that. I was testing you. Right. Okay, thank you. So you were paying attention. Okay, so Dia, what should I plug in? In place of y, I should put it down 0, and here I put 6. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Big mistake. Please don't do that. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Okay, so then we get 0 equals to 6 is really what? 6 over 1. Does 3 go into 6? How many times? Twice. So what does this become? You get 2 times. Does 3 go into 2 times, which is 4 plus. So my b is 4, right? No. You got to subtract 4 from both sides. We don't have b equals to, we got 0 equals to 4 plus b. So b is equal to now what?
-4.
So there it is. Could you also? I could have subtracted b and then b equals to 4. But then you get negative b. If you subtract b from both sides, then you would have to divide both sides by -1. Does that make sense? So it's easier, once you have the b as positive, Elena, it's easier to move the other number, okay, to the other side. Alright, so do you think, so we chose 6, 0 because it was easier to plug in? Do you think if we plug in 3, -2, we get the same b? Yes, we should. Okay, so everybody try now. I'll give you some time. Y equals 2/3 x plus b. I'm trying to make a point here. It doesn't matter which order pair you plug in, you should get the same b. So something equals to 2/3. Hopefully I won't make this mistake here. What's 3? Is that my x or y? X. What's my -2? So what goes in here? Good. What goes in here?
3.
And go ahead. Everybody solve for b. I'll give you time. You should all get -4. It doesn't matter which order pairs because these are solution to this linear equation. And so that when you plug in any one of these solutions, you should get the same b. Okay. So go ahead. Everybody try. See what you get. Okay. Who could tell me what to do here when I look for b? One person. 2, 3, 4. Talia, what do I do? Yeah, what's 3 really? 3 is really 3 over 1. So when you multiply fractions, could you cross cancel? Remember, cross cancel means that you have to have, cross kind of remind us multiplication. Are we multiplying these two numbers? Yeah, so therefore we could cross cancel, right? So 3 goes into 3 how many times? Once. Okay, so what do we get? Not 2. -2 is equal to here. Oh, this is, I'm sorry, I get what you, plus b. Right, Dia, then what do I do?
Then you subtract 2.
I subtract 2 from both sides. I get b is equal to -4. And we get the same b as what we expected. Now, here's the moment of truth. This is what we've been doing, right? As an extra credit, a lot of you, how do you get that answer? Guess what a lot of people did? When I gave you 2 points, you guys used -2. Like, you just saw the -2 and you thought that was a y-intercept. Is that the y-intercept? No, if this was the y-intercept, what must x have to be?
X-intercept.
No. If the order pair is the y-intercept, then if the x order pair must be 0, remember? Right, so some of you just looked at the -2 because it was a y-coordinate. You guys thought that was the y-intercept. No. What was our y-intercept? We just figured it out. -4. Now, who could tell me the equation of this line then? We found the slope, which was, we wrote it here, which was 2/3. We found the y-intercept. Now, who could tell me the equation of this line? 3 people? Guys, we found the slope, 2/3. We found the y-intercept. Who could tell me the equation of this line? Okay? Mylan.
Y equals 2/3 x plus -4.
Excellent. Can I just write -4? Is that okay? Plus -4. Okay, and then you get, of course, you don't normally write it this way. Are you okay? Yes? I want to show you something kind of interesting. Are you ready for it? You don't have to write this down. Okay, watch this. Okay. This is my favorite program. Okay, do you guys remember? You don't have to write this down. Who remembers, what are the 2 points that we had? The very -3 and?
6, 0.
It was 3, -2.
Oh, okay, one person please. What was the first point? How about, yes,
3, -2.
3, do you all agree? Do you see where my 3, -2 is?
Yes.
Okay, solid, I want solid. There it is, okay? What's the other point?
6, 0.
6, 0. Do you see the other point, 6, 0 right here? What was our equation that we got? Raise your hand. Please tell me. Y. So it's in some function form. I already have f of x, okay? So I don't have to copy y equals whatever. Yes, Virjan, what do we get? 2/3 x
Plus
-4. Guys, this program allows me to draw this graph. Does anybody guess what it would do now as soon as I graph this? It's going to draw a line that goes what? How would it look like? Raise your hand. What would it look like? It's going to draw a line that will
Go through the points.
go through the
Y-intercept at negative
2 points. Do you think it'll go through these 2 points?
Yeah.
That's what we got. They gave us 2 points, right? We found, watch this, we found every point, order pair, right? That, look at, all this order pair is a solution to this equation, isn't that right? So these two happens to be one of the 2 solutions, right? Knowing these 2 solutions, we could figure out the equation of the line. That's what we just did here. We were able to figure out that, oh, the line that goes through these 2 points, the equation of the line is y is equal to 2/3 x minus 4. And as you can see, the line goes to the y-intercept at negative 4. Does that make sense? This is what you're going to do for your homework tonight. Does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
How many people think they could do this by themselves? Okay, good. And perfect timing, okay? All right.